From Platteville, the homes of more downsizing than any liposuction clinic has ever seen, it's Sunday night. Mother knows more about the Olympics than David Letterman. It's your host, Todd Allball.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and welcome to Sunday night. And wow, we got us an audience tonight, folks. Give yourselves a hand, yeah. Wow, that is excellent. Yeah, we have all kinds of high school students here, all kinds of high school students. And by the way, on the way out, don't forget to pick up your condom. So I think right there, all kinds of safe sex in today's high school atmosphere, yeah. Valentine's Day was yesterday. Did y'all have a good Valentine's Day? Anybody? Yeah. A lot of girlfriends, a lot of boyfriends, everything. Yeah. I was Valentine-less. A year ago, I broke up with my girlfriend from Costa Rica. As a matter of fact, no girlfriend this year. Thank you. Anybody willing to go out afterwards? I'm looking. Actually, I think a lot of the problem was last year because I broke up. The reason my girlfriend broke up with me is last year she said, Todd, why don't we do something nice this year? Do something nice for me. Do something sexy. I said, sure, Patty. Like what? She said, well, buy me a see-through blouse. I said, a see-through blouse, and she goes, yeah. I go, why would I want to spend so much on so little? So right there, that was kind of the end of that relationship. Anyway, the Olympics were held yesterday, and y'all watched the Olympics on CBS. Wow, that's fantastic there. David Letterman, of course, if you watched last night, David Letterman sent his mom to Lillehammer, Norway, to cover the Olympics over there. Apparently, Jay Leno has sent over Paula Poundstone, his kind of correspondent, if you will. And not to be outdone, ABC's Nightline sent Ted Koppel's hairpiece over to Lillehammer as well. So that was kind of nice. Also in the news, and hopefully you guys all read some news, the Bosnian Serbs, the terrible civil war, actually quite serious and bad over there, but the Bosnian Serbs now in the peace negotiations, they're trying to cash in their guns, bring in their guns, and they had the plan, of course, over in New York, cash in your gun, you get a free toy. Apparently the Bosnian Serbs cash in their guns, they get a free ticket to a Brewer game. So, right there. Poor Milwaukee Brewers. Anyway, and also my mom. My mom has not been feeling at all well. I'm sure a lot of you have mothers. Most of you probably do. My mom not feeling well. She went to the doctor the other day. Terrible gas pains Mom had. She said, oh, I got bad gas pains. She went to, oh, the band liked that one. Wow. The terrible gas pains. She went in and she said, doctor, I have terrible gas pains. He said, well, have you been eating well, nutritionally? She said, well, not really, not like I should. Have you been doing a lot of sit-ups and everything? She said, well, not really, not like I should. Have you been exercising and walking a lot? Well, all right, I'll be back in a minute. He left. He came back. He had a big long handle, a big long pole with a hook on the top. She said, what are you going to do with that? He said, what do you think? I'm opening a window. It stinks in here. So, poor Mom. Anyway, thank you for being here at the Big Slice Conference. And I should say to our fine viewers out there as well, that we're taping the show on Tuesday to be shown on Sunday. The Big Slice Conference, Student Leadership Conference, all high schoolers here. We're glad to have them here. And so we're going to be talking student leadership with 4 high school students, or actually 4 college students that are hosting this event. We'll be talking to them a little bit later. And also our own Kevin O'Connor is here as well. He is our sports director, a student leader, and talking about Pioneer sports on campus. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, say hello and make welcome our fine Sunday night band and our director, Tom Vandenhaven. Over there, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that's enough. How you doing over there, Tom?
Well, pretty good.
Have a good weekend? You were not here last 2 weeks ago. For our audience, they don't know, but we had a show. Our band was not here. And we said it was due to downsizing in our university.
Yeah, it was a busy weekend last weekend. We had the Jazz Fest and some other gigs.
How'd that do? How did you?
Oh, it was great. We had a couple of cats from L.A. come in, Kim
Really?
Richmond and Clay Jenkins. So we
That's
had some
good.
professionals on the stage with us.
Well, I'm glad to have you back, because
Well,
the show
thank
is
you.
not the same without you guys.
Well, it's good to be here.
We're glad to have you back for another semester.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. And Troy Everson joins us as well. Troy, our fine sidekick and announcer. What do you do?
That's something. They like me better.
Want to host the show? You're a little sweaty.
It's warm in here. My God. That's all right.
I don't know. So, how was your? You haven't seen you in a while as well. Have a good week?
Yes, it was wonderful.
Really?
Except Valentine's Day.
Well, I didn't have a date. What did you do?
Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Well, like none other. I went to class, just kind of hung around. I think Valentine's Day is kind of overrated.
Really?
Yes.
What is that?
Oh, I guess I got a cheap little card from my mother. That was nice.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Your mom's a nice woman. I've met her before.
Well, you know, we have something in common here, Todd. Our mothers are going through empty nest syndrome.
Well, any of you guys out there, you're all at home probably, but your moms will go through this. They get paranoid. They get grouchy. It's like menopause 24 hours a day.
You know when they scream
it ain't
at you?
fun, folks.
You know when they scream at you to clean your room? They don't do that anymore. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Because they miss you.
She says, "Oh, Todd, why can't you just stay home a little bit more often?"
Well, because your attitude drives me nuts.
It's like fingernails on a chalkboard.
Yes.
So otherwise, any big plans this weekend? Of course, the Pioneers are playing tonight at home.
That's right.
Against Eau Claire. And they need to win in order to maintain things, keep going.
But I guess by the time this goes out over the airwaves, we'll know the results of that, won't we?
That's right. And don't forget, in 2 weeks right here on TV-5, we have the big NCAA peering show. Mm-hmm. So that'll be pretty neat as
Kevin
well.
O'Connor's going to talk about that,
That's
isn't
right.
he?
If we have time, he'll be here. If
All
we
right.
don't have time, he won't be here.
Good.
Apparently Kevin O'Connor getting the laugh out there. Kevin, you're doing a fine job.
People know him.
So actually, how many of you guys, I want to ask the audience this, how many of you guys came...
I'm from Iowa.
Iowa?
Oh, Todd. We have to slow down. Whoop.
This will be the first and last Slice Conference here at UW-Platteville.
Sorry, folks, I like cornflakes. This is our chance because Dawn McMurray on KDUB out of Dubuque, she cuts on the the cheddar heads all the time. All right?
Do you guys know Dawn McMurray? Really? I think she's kind of hot. But then again, I haven't had a girlfriend in a year. I thought Steve Farber looked hot. so right there. Anyway, we're going to take a short break. Be back with bring out a couple of leaders. That's what we're here for. Be talking to you a little bit later, Troy. So stay with us. Sunday night rolls on, and we'll be back in just 1 minute.
Hey, thanks to these airbags here, this job is now a piece of cake, Claire.
But Vin...
Yeah, I'll tell you something, partner. I just might stick around a few more years.
But Vin...
No more dashboard du jour or Vince under glass, huh?
But Vin...
Look out!
Even with airbags, Vince, you still got to remember to buckle your safety belt.
Now you tell me.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
You're gonna be better than me, Christopher. Your eyes, no wasting your life on something you hate. Not for my son. You're going to college. I can see it in your eyes.
I can see it in your eyes. You are going to do something important.
Christopher, time for work.
We've always had the dreams. Now we have the means. Please, support the United Negro College Fund.
And welcome back. Welcome back to Sunday night here. We are on location this week over at the Beau Arts Room, the beautiful Beau Arts Room over here. And we're enjoying it, the Slice Conference. We're here, and I'm rooting for, there we go, the fine Olympic team. How about, you guys rooting for the Olympic team out there? Huh? You guys our first, you guys, just a second. Troy picked all these Iowa people the whole show, and I know now that everybody out there is really ticked off from Iowa. Who out there is from Iowa again? Follow me. All right, which one of you, are you from Iowa? Really? There you go. How about that, Jody? How old are you, Jody?
17.
Oh, damn. All right. You know, that's been my problem all my life, anyway. All right, our first guest on the big program tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, our first two guests. A little water spillage here. We'll seep that up. One guy is from Loras College. Anybody from near Loras? All right, Loras College. And the other one is from Gutenberg, Iowa. Anybody from Gutenberg, Iowa out there? Somebody told me it was Gutenberg. I'm sorry, it was Gutenberg. I give them something and they turn on me like that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the guest our first two guests, Stephen Reed and Jennifer Mosier, ladies and gentlemen. Steve, there you go. Come on, sit out here. Just put that on. And Jennifer, there you go. Geez, I'm sorry I screwed up the name of your hometown. We talked about it before.
If Iowans stick together, they know it.
Well, you know, I had an English teacher from Iowa. And he did a fine job. Always enjoyed him. We're not here to talk about, we were here to talk about things about you guys, student leadership. And I guess, Steve, we'll start with you since you're the closest to me. What kind of things did you do in high school to kind of prepare you? Things that these people, if you're a sophomore or a junior, whatever, still have time to do?
In high school, I was involved in sports and student government. I tried to get involved in a lot of things when I was in high school. Not because it would make you popular, just for career and just experience.
Steve had a unique experience because you were started out in Chicago, is that correct? In a school of about 1,200 people?
No, it was actually about 2,500 people.
Oh, 25, wow.
Yeah.
And then you
Inner
moved
city
out to
Chicago,
Iowa.
yeah, inner city, and I moved out to Bellevue. If anybody ever heard of Bellevue? I moved to Bellevue, and my high school, we only had 120 kids, so.
Wow. So from inner city Chicago back out to, what are some of the, I mean, obviously, a lot less people and stuff, but I think that we hear a lot about the crime or whatever have you in inner city Chicago schools, and it's tough and everything. Is it really that tough, or is it what the media makes it out to be?
It's tough, but a lot of it is media. I mean, I don't know, maybe you had some involvement in it too, I don't know. But
I've never done a story on inner city Chicago, but I liked it. We sang there one time. Our choir sang there, but I went to school there anyway.
No, it's tough, but it's not.
Did you find it easier to be involved in student leadership type of things in Chicago or out in a rural setting?
Well, I'm the kind of person who I like to think of myself as being versatile. So I think I can function in any environment. So it was easy for me in either one. I'll take either one.
And Jennifer, you kind of grew up all your life out in Iowa,
Right.
but you were involved in a lot of sports things, I see from your resume, for whatever. And I think a lot of times, I know it's tough to balance the academics, the leadership, and the sports. I mean, did you find that a problem, or was it just kind of natural?
Well, with athletics, I think especially a lot of people can probably relate to this. Athletics is one of those leadership abilities where you have to boggle your time management skills. You have to make sure that you have your homework done, make sure if you're in other activities and things like that, that you have time managed for that. So time management, discipline, a lot of other characteristics do go with athletics. So I mean, it's one of those sports, that puts everything together that you have.
Even though it's hard, I think, sometimes to juggle and balance all that kind of stuff, did you find, I saw you were in speech and drama, in choir, things where you had to get up and not necessarily perform, but speak in front of other people. Did that help you once you got into college? Do you think it's going to help you later on down the line? Even though it might be tougher sometimes.
Definitely. In high school, all those things, I think they made me a little more outgoing. They helped me for college, made me even more involved with college activities. It made me prepared for what I'm doing right now.
So what about your station wagon? Somebody wrote on here, there's a story about your station wagon.
I have a station wagon. I got it this summer. It's just one of those things that I needed a car, Dad, so he got me one. And it breaks down at least once every other week.
Is it one of those big honking ones?
It's huge. By the wood paneling, I'd be set.
Wally World, here we come.
Yeah, really.
Family vacation.
It's a truckster.
Also, it says on here, all the dips in your hometown. Now, Troy picked on Iowa, but here you're saying there's all kinds of dips in your hometown in Iowa.
My paper is sabotaged, I can tell.
I know, somebody wrote all these things on here and told me to ask.
Well, a couple of people always travel through Guttenberg, and they take the Great River Road, and it has the dips, like one every block. So every block you have, there's a sign that says dip, and they always go over the dips. And they're like, what is this? There's all these dips in Guttenberg. Jen, what's going on? So.
Well, we have the same problem here at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. Only it ain't the dips in the road that's the problem.
I think it's probably, I won't say, we'll start war.
No, Platteville's a fine place to go. That's why I'm here. I understand, Steve, that you're an RA. Is that correct?
That's
resident
correct.
Assistant.
At Beckman Hall.
Where?
Beckman Hall.
Beckman Hall. Wow, that's pretty cool. Man, people. Like your resident hall. We have signs in the audience. What is that? Just a second. I have to get my glasses on because I really can't see what that says. Potosi loves Todd. Oh, look at that. Potosi High School. Look at that. I think that's deserving of one. Did a fine job.
It really has been a while since you've had a date, huh?
What?
Said it really has been a while
Really
since you've had a date.
No, I love Potosi. I've driven through there several times. It's a nice place to go to visit down there. Anyway, I understand you do some rapping. Your residents give you a hard time because if you go through and you're going around and everything, checking out people, you're rapping all the time.
Yeah, when I go on my rounds, I'm either singing or rapping, and people think something's wrong with me if I'm quiet when I'm doing it.
So can you do a little bit for us? Just a little bit to satisfy these fine student
I'll
ears.
say a couple lines, if I can remember. I wrote a couple lines about Loris basketball.
All right, Loris basketball, fine team.
Blue Hawk basketball. It's Loris basketball coming straight at you. Come and catch a glimpse of the winning team. Or so it seems them other teams can't hang. Go out with a bang or reverse pump dunk. We got 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s galore. 5s alive, bounce pass inside. Take in stride, a dish out for the tray shoot. Alley-oop, the Hawks do jump and double pump.
Hey, there we go.
I would like to say hello to the men's basketball team. Joe Carter, Anthony B, Mike Lamb,
Down there,
all the guys.
We'll send them a tape. But, well, that's great. So we'll look for you on MTV soon, huh?
Yeah, I hope so.
Rapping your way
Snoop
there.
Doggy Dogg or somebody,
Well, let's just hit on a little bit more leadership before we finish this segment. If you guys could give one piece of advice, I guess, to act with the father or the mother, if you will. But I think it's more appropriate instead of coming from teachers, coming from people who are just out of high school. And if you could look back, and if you have one thing to change or what have you, or one piece of advice to our listening or our viewing audience, as well as people here, what would it be, Steve?
Actually, back in the days, I would have probably never milked a cow. No, I'm just joking. My advice to you is to get involved in as much as you can. Whether you wait till it's your senior year, whether you do it in freshman year of college, just get involved, because there are so many people in school that are just in school, which is fine, but you can meet so many people by getting into one club or playing one sport or just anything, helping out. Just get involved, that's all, and study hard.
Jennifer?
You basically summed it all up. Try and get involved with as much as you can in high school, because with college, a lot of people get so absorbed in their studies, and there is so much time for activities, but you can do so much more, especially when you're in high school. But stay involved. I'm sure all of you are right now.
I look back and see, you guys have been involved in everything from Black Students Union to speech and drama. It goes back and forth. Is there one particular thing? Can you narrow it down and say this one thing probably helped me the most in student leadership or developing myself? Either one of you?
I would say I was in National Honor Society. I was president my senior year, and our organization did a lot of community service activities, as well as activities for the students in the high school as well. And I think a lot of students that are involved with different activities in high school, they don't really get to see the community service aspect of it. And it's a lot of fun. It's very rewarding.
Steve, anything particular?
Everything helped me. I used to be really, really shy, and like I said, getting involved helped me to, help my other personality come out a little bit. So.
Great, your rapper personality. You guys, one is going to take you all the way to Hollywood or something. Hey, I really appreciate you guys coming up here and being part of the show, and I wish you the best of luck in your futures, Jennifer and Steve. Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to take a short break and be back with a couple more student leaders as Sunday night rolls on. So stay with us here on Sunday night.
Okay, attention asthma and allergy sufferers. The following demonstration will show you how to avoid sneezing, wheezing, watery eyes, and other discomforts associated with your condition. Okay, Joe, ready when you are. First, shut out all industrial pollutants. Don't expose yourself to cigarette smoke. Avoid exhaust fumes. How you doing, Joe? Good, good. Don't breathe in any dirt. Don't breathe in any dust particles. Let's see.
Pollen.
What?
Pollen!
Oh, right. Avoid pollen. Thanks, Joe. Tree pollen and grass pollen. Don't be around ragweed. Get rid of all animal hair. Oh, gee, I'm sorry, Joe. Anyway, stay away from mold. Don't breathe the air on hot days. Boy, this must be difficult, huh, Joe? You know, there is another way. There are treatments available, and they work, Joe. You should find out about them. With the right treatment, asthma and allergy sufferers can all breathe much easier. For free information, call this number.
And welcome back to Sunday night, ladies and gentlemen. And here we are. Troy Everson out there still getting people to do silly and goofy things. Troy, maybe at the end of the show we have some time. Choose a couple of those people and do some nice things and bring them up, and we'll do something on the show. All right? Keep on watching. Keep on. Maybe Jim Waite has something he wants to come up and do, and Mick Viney, two of our fine people from. Is Dr. Sharon Walker here today? Dr. Sharon Walker is not here today. and me without my jeans. So I think right there. Anyway, we will welcome our next two guests out here. Two more student leaders. One happens to be right here from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, and the other one is attending what university? University of Dubuque, down in Dubuque, of course. Her name, well, let's just welcome them out here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Shelby Lang and Crystal Morgan. There you go. And you guys can sit down there. Shelby knows how to do this because Shelby is involved in our communication department right here at Platteville. At least we have one for now.
For now, yeah, but we never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
You never know, but no, things are happening. It's exciting here at Platteville, and I want to encourage each and every one of you high school people to think about Platteville, because I think once it gets restructured and reorganized, it's going to be a much stronger university and a better place to come. And the University of Dubuque, and Lawrence University, all fine institutions.
Very fine, very fine.
What, Lawrence? Clark. That's right, Clark.
University of Dubuque. That's the
right,
best.
Clark.
It rules. It rocks.
Clark, that's the name of our director down there. There he is, Clark Gilson, as a matter of fact. Now I won't even say that. Let's just go right in. I was going to ask, the question I always ask is Lawrence University located right next to Mary University, Laura and Mary Ingalls?
I go to
kind of
that
really
was
bad
humor.
joke.
We get it, Tom.
Really bad joke. Crystal, you are from University of Dubuque. What year are you down there?
I'm a junior.
Really?
Yeah.
And you're an RA as well?
Yes, I am.
And involved in just numerous activities.
Too many.
I understand you do a lot of poetry and writing.
Yes, I do.
Did you write a book?
Don't ask me to say anything.
Did I say something funny? I don't know. What's the matter? All right, it was a bad shot apparently.
Okay.
Not of you, of me.
Okay.
Yeah, do you do that in your free time, or is it something you hope to continue on your make a career out of it?
Well, I'm a social work major, so I plan to be a social worker. And then when I get burnt out around 30, I'll throw myself into writing my poetry.
What kind of stuff did you do in high school? Some of the things that you really remember that helped you be a good leader?
Well, I was on the debate team because I like to talk a lot and I like to argue and fight a lot, so that was very good. I did sports in my early years of high school, but I wasn't really interested in that towards graduation. I preferred to be in the leadership role. I like being the boss.
Wow, that's pretty cool. You were from Atlanta, actually, down there, the big school of Atlanta. Went to a high school of 1,200 students down there, and now we're up here in Dubuque. What brought you to Dubuque from Atlanta?
Well, I'm from Chicago, so it's not that far from Chicago. All my family's in Chicago, but I had a really good professor in Atlanta in my high school who was a student of UD, and I always thought he was a goody two-shoes, but he told me he got kicked out of UD, so I figured, hey, I can go to that school.
Let me ask you the same question that I asked Steve. We hear about the inner city, the bigger schools, the larger cities, the problems. Is it as bad as it seems in the media? Has it been overdone? What's your personal observation?
I think, as usual, the media overdoes everything, because when my school now is a fairly new school, they threw 4 or 5 different schools in together, and we had a problem because they combined 3 all-black schools with 1 all-white school, and so then they brought up a big racial issue about that, and the media blew everything out of proportion, whereas we were all like, fine, what's the problem? So the media kind of takes everything and makes it bigger than what it really is.
And is sometimes the media doing that? Does that cause more problems than that already exist, or do the students just kind of go like, well, I'm not going to pay any attention?
I think sometimes it may cause more problems at home more than at the school. It may cause problems with the parents being afraid that something's going to happen to their child if they attend this school.
Shelby, you go to school here, and you're from Wisconsin. What's your hometown, actually? I don't know.
Hometown is Dalton, Wisconsin.
Dalton, Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Anybody from Dalton, Wisconsin here?
I doubt it. The community is so small. We have more Amish people in our community than people who drive cars. It's kind of a standing joke that you have to dodge the Amish on the way to school.
We gotta have that in Richland Center, too. My hometown, a lot of Amish people up there. They're fine people.
Yes, they are. They're very fine people.
You couldn't find friendlier and better people.
That's true. They'll help out with anything. But you gotta, going to school in the morning, if you're late, boy, stay in the passing lane.
Actually, speaking of horses, you were...
Thanks, Todd. I'll take that positive as possible.
Amish tribe horses. Don't they? I don't know. You were the 1994, that's right, the rodeo queen. Miss Rodeo Wisconsin,
Yes.
1994.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
so is that like a beauty pageant, or do you have to ride, or is it like combined?
It's all in one. It's all in one. We don't have a swimsuit competition, thank God, but we have a horsemanship competition, and it is on appearance, personality. We have a personal interview. We have a test on the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association rule book, and then there is a horsemanship competition. So it is a beauty pageant, but thank God no swimsuits. Ooh.
So what do you have to do? I mean, what is your official responsibility?
Official responsibility.
Do you get like the new car and the clothing? And
No, we get a new truck if we get really lucky. A new truck
Really?
if we get really lucky. Yeah, Dodge is one of the big sponsors for the profession.
Did you get a truck?
Not yet, but we're working on it. We're working on it. We're gonna get a truck out of this after all. What my major responsibility is I travel the rodeo circuit and basically a public relations person for rodeo. Whenever they need a TV interview or a radio interview, we do a lot with the American flag and patriotic. Yeah, definitely the American flag. Get that back out. And then in November,
Very nice.
I travel to Vegas.
They're right on top of those. That our fine band, always on top of things over there. They're loopy on NyQuil again.
And then in Vegas, I travel to Las Vegas for the Miss Rodeo America pageant. So it is a national pageant.
Back to high school very quickly. What are some of the things that you did or experiences, maybe one particular one that you had that you can say, wow, that really helped me?
That was the one. Well, I was into sports so heavily that I never had an off season. We went from Palms to basketball into rodeo season. We never had an off season. But two big memories in my life were my basketball team. We went to the state tournament in Madison and came in second to Cuba City. But we were at the state tournament.
Down by Potosi.
And then my senior year in high school, I won the Wisconsin High School Rodeo Barrel Racing Championship. So it was definite teamwork in that area, and those were two very important.
And Crystal, what about you? As far as maybe one or two experiences you can look back and say, wow, that really was outstanding. I saw you were leadership committee, debate team, creative writing club, track team, cheerleading.
Oh, I just did so much in high school. I think being on the leadership committee and the debate team, because it gave me a chance to run my mouth as much as I wanted to and not get in trouble for the things that I say, because I do tend to say things that are kind of outrageous and people get upset over. But then I could say, well, I was just saying that for the debate team and I wouldn't get in trouble. And being on the leadership committee, it helps me now because I'm a student leader in my community and I'm a leadership conference junkie too, so, wow. But it helps.
Now, Stephen did a little rap song for us. Can you do a cheer, Crystal, for us?
I was a cheerleader in the 8th grade. No, I was a cheerleader in the 8th grade. That was like...
Come on.
I know, that was so long ago, I don't even know any cheers.
Shelby?
Wow.
Do you have a cheer? We don't have a horse for you to ride.
No, we don't have a horse, but I saw a few minutes ago that before we even got started up here, that some of the conference delegation was doing a cheer. What was it? Give me a standing ovation? Was that
I can do that cheer.
Really?
Do we
I
want to
can do
try
that
it?
one.
All right.
Give me a standing ovation.
There we go. Very nice. Very nicely done, ladies. Geez, we should have you guys guest more often. But looking now, do you guys have plans after high school or after college, rather? I mean, what are the things that you want to do and take with you? Some of the things that you might have learned in high school you see you can take with you through to your job.
Okay. After I get my bachelor's.
Now they give us the wrap-up signal. I ask you a question anyway.
Okay. I plan to get my master's in social work and possibly my law degree. And I just have to say, Oprah, watch out, here I come.
Hey, way to go. There she goes. And Shelby, but you?
Well, the only thing I can really take with me is a lot of communication skills, a lot of motivation tactics, organization through everything that Crystal and I both have done, being involved with everything. You have to be right on top of everything, and hopefully people looking in the job field will look at our resumes and say, wow, these people were involved, and maybe we'll get that job.
If things work out, you can also take camera number 3 with you as well.
Definitely, we got to get on that one.
Very congratulations, Crystal, and Shelby, as always. Thank you for coming up here, and best of luck to both of you in the future. Give them a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Crystal Morgan and Shelby Lang. We are going to take a short break, and I'll be back with Kevin O'Connor talking about Pioneer basketball, maybe a little leadership of his own. Stay with us.
Endangered species? I have a sick child to worry about.
You know, the willow tree gave us aspirin, the rosy periwinkle treatments for cancer, and the octopus makes a chemical to fight high blood pressure. But what miracle drugs will never be found if the species that provide them become extinct?
Species extinction? We've got our hands full trying to feed our family.
Food crops are made more bug and disease resistant by crossing them with wild plants. That can mean lower prices.
Look, I got a business to run.
Well, that wax he's using comes from the carnauba plant. And simple seaweeds benefit all kinds of businesses with ingredients for paints, fire extinguishers, and hundreds of foods. Fact is, there's something in nature for everyone. With countless species in jeopardy and more than 100 becoming extinct every day, can we really afford not to protect them? To learn more, call the National Wildlife Federation at 1-800-824-WILD.
Sunday night, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to have you along with us. We are live on location. Well, live via videotape anyway, on location here at the Beaux Arts Room at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. And all kinds of great high school students here for a student leadership conference today and talking leadership. Okay, give yourselves a hand, one more hand. There we go. Very quickly, we have Bellevue High School. Where are you guys at? There they are. We have a Bloomington High School. Fine people from Bloomington, Wisconsin. Cascade High School. Rather vocal group of young ladies over there from Cascade. Platteville High School, hometown high school. There we go. Also Potosi, we've heard from them. West Grand High School. Where are you guys at? West Grand? All right, there we go. Stockton High School. Western Dubuque. Western Dubuque. There we go, a couple of people from there. Anybody, Dubuque Senior, do we have people from there? And anybody else? One sole person, that's all right, that's great. Anybody else we forgot? Jim, anybody else? That's about it, all right, very good. Yes, what? Waller? All right, Waller High School, give yourselves a hand. Very nice. All right, I guess before we bring Kevin O'Connor out, Troy Everson, our fine sidekick, has gone through the crowd and found a little bit of talent. Is that right, Troy? Bring him on up here. Do we have a little music for this, Tom? Or somebody? I don't know. Just nothing fancy. Mark, just a little piano there. Very good. And hi, how are you doing? What's your name? Andy? Yep. We have Andy and Diane. You're from Potosi, and where are you going? Cascade. Cascade and Potosi.
Because you and I didn't have a very good time at Valentine's Day, I've been out there playing matchmaker.
Really? Like the Love Connection?
Yeah.
We'll be back in 2 and 2. Wow. So, did you guys... So, are you guys going out with anybody right now?
Yeah.
You have a girlfriend. Is she better looking? Would you dump your current girlfriend for her? That's the question.
No.
Oh, well, do you have a boyfriend?
I am dating someone.
Would you dump your boyfriend for him?
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Oh, come on. So, do you guys have talent, or did you just come up here to be on TV?
He just kind of pulled us up here.
He kind of pulled you up here. Well, you know, what do you guys do in high school? Are you guys student leaders? What do you do, Andy?
Student council.
Student council. What position do you hold?
President for freshmen.
Oh, wow, president. That's pretty cool. Presidente Ellen. And how about you?
I'm in SAD and FBLA and FHA. I'm an officer, and I'm on the yearbook staff, and I'm also a baseball manager. So.
Definitely the fine Potosi baseball team making their way down here today as well. Well, that's pretty cool. Do you guys have things planned? Did you come here because you just want to get out a day of school, or what do you learn at these things? That's what I want to know. I went to a couple myself, and sometimes you sit there like, geez, you know. But what did you learn here that you can take back to everybody in your high school? Andy?
How you work together and have fun. You can have fun together and stuff.
I just learned that people with disabilities aren't really that different, but you gotta help them out. Because in this one stunt, I had to be blind, and I couldn't see, so I had to depend on other people to help me around, and it was kind of experience.
Well, great, outstanding. I'm glad you guys came up here, and I'm glad to talk to some high schoolers as well as some college people, and would invite you guys to come up here and go to school up here if you'd like to someday. Platteville's a fine, fine institution, and we're happy to have you guys here. Give a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Huh? You guys can take off the mics right now and just lay them down. We have mic music now, a little mic music in Maestro. There we go. Very good. I like that. Give a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. All right. Right now, very good. Well, you keep going. We're going to invite Kevin. That's all right. Fine. We're fine. Very good, Tom. You're doing a fine job.
Well, thank you.
Very good. Give him a hand. Huh? Good job. Right now, we're going to invite a good friend of mine, and at least for the time being, I think, but he's also our sports director here at WSUP Radio, and is the host of the Bo Ryan Show right here on TV-5 with our head coach, Bo Ryan, for Platteville Pioneers. Please welcome Kevin O'Connor. Always nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Todd, too. I thought I was getting bumped by the dating game.
No, we wanted to have you on. So before we get into the big show...
I noticed, Todd, too, by the way, after they made the sign, you went out in the audience, and you kissed the girl. Yeah. I haven't seen any more signs. So. Picture right there. And little do you know, Todd is a leader in his own right, because I believe he is now maybe officially the record holder for the most years spent in college by a student in the communications department at UW-Platteville. So he's leading his own way there. But you got your own TV show, Todd.
That's true. You stay here long enough, you eventually become part of the faculty. That's kind of my whole thing. At least I'm hoping. Kev, I know you did a lot of stuff in high school. You were on the soccer team.
Soccer, basketball, editor-in-chief of the newspaper, National Honor Society. Oh, I don't even remember anymore.
Wow. And I know you came here with the sports editor for our fine school newspaper here.
Worked on the Exponent here, yeah, sports editor. Been sports director now for over 2 years, and been involved in lots of things. I think that's the biggest thing you're asking some of the other leaders, what's the most important piece of advice they can give, and my piece of advice would be to go out and get involved in high school, because to me it made it much easier the day I came here in college to walk down to the radio station, walk down to the newspaper as a freshman my first week and want to get involved, because I knew what it meant to get involved, I knew what would be asked of me, I knew what it meant to volunteer my time, and hey, what do you know?
And I don't think it really matters. I think you went to Arlington Heights, a suburb of Chicago, but I don't think it really matters whether, is there something to matter? We're looking over here. What? Oh.
I won't be going out in the audience to kiss anyone.
We love Kevin. Wow. Kevin has a girlfriend, but doesn't mean he's not up for a kiss.
Do I get the same line of questioning the last people do?
Sure. No. I was just going to say, I think that your point is well taken. It doesn't really matter whether you're in a school like Arlington Heights, a bigger school, a high school, or out in a smaller high school. I grew up in Richland Center, a rural school. We both got involved.
To say the least.
We both got involved early on. I think our experiences helped us when we came here. Let's talk a little bit about the Bo Ryan Show. For those of you that don't know, it's a TV show. Tell us when the airing dates are.
It's Mondays at 7:30, Wednesdays at 7:30 and 11:30, and Fridays at 7:30 and 11:30. We tape every Monday night, about 6 or so, and then we air it throughout the week. This week, for example, we missed, obviously there's a game tonight. The show will air after the game. We won't do that, but we just run through the past games, the highlights. We talk to Coach. We have a couple players on every week, and I think we have a pretty good time. He tells some stories, and we sit back and talk a little hoops.
It's a great show. And the special show we're kind of plugging this week will be right here on Channel 5 next week, and starts
the 27th, Sunday the 27th, starts
exactly.
at 6 o'clock. The pairings actually come out at 7 for the Division III men's basketball tournament. Cross our fingers. Hopefully we have a reason to do this show. But so we start our coverage about 6, previewing it, highlights from the season, talking to people, discussing what might happen. The pairings come across at 7, then we talk to Coach afterwards, kind of recap, get his thoughts, and get ready for a trip somewhere, we think, in the postseason.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and a lot of people don't, I mean, this isn't like, we don't solely produce this. This comes via satellite.
Right, yeah.
The one and only time we use live satellites.
The NCAA sends the satellite feed all across the country, Galaxy 6.2, 6.8, transponder 13, something like that, and Kurt Miller knows what we're talking about over there. He's getting excited about the satellite talk.
You know, we're sitting out here, if we wanted girls, he's wanting satellites. Show me them satellites.
We'll look for those I love Kurt signs in a little bit.
That's right. Pretty soon I will.
But yeah, it comes across at 7 or thereabouts, and yeah, so we kind of feed into that with our own show in the studio. So it's really a lot of fun. We've done it the last couple of years. It's kind of become a tradition, just as Pioneer basketball in the postseason and what have you has become a tradition. So hopefully, knock on wood, we beat Eau Claire tonight and keep on rolling. Big road trip this weekend to a beautiful River Falls in Menominee, Wisconsin. That's always a fun 5-hour drive.
Way up there.
So we'll have some fun with it.
Kind of cool. Again, the airing time starts at 6 o'clock
6 o'clock on Sunday night, live, one time only, one showing. Pairings actually start at 7, but I think you're cheating yourself if you don't tune in about 6 or so, or come down to the TV studio and watch us work our magic in person.
And when this show goes on, we'll have the Oshkosh game left next Wednesday, as well as a home game at against
lacrosse. A home game, final home game Saturday night, senior night. If things go well, a chance to clinch a share of the conference championship, so it should be a big night at Williams Field. May well be, if the rankings stay the way they are, may well be the last home game this year. There may be no postseason home games. So
we'll have to see.
You never know.
And you can catch the action on WSUP Radio.
I hope so.
90.5 on the dial.
Indeed, in Dubuque, and
That's
really
right,
pretty much I think every community here. Not that I know my geography of Iowa very well, but so if I say Bellevue, I believe people in the back will stand up and... But yeah, we boom out pretty good, 20, 25-mile radius of Platteville, which gets you through Dubuque. I know we were going down to Cedar Falls for the football game. We heard SUP all the way out past Dyersville and that, which is a good 60 miles from here. So on certain nights, the winds blow right in Iowa, catches the manure trail, and that's
Our poor Iowa fans. Anyway, but hey, I'm glad you came on.
I'm glad, Todd, I'm glad I finally got a chance to be on here. I help the guests up every week.
That's
I
right.
help you write your jokes, only the good ones, of course. And I'm glad I was able to
Kevin's
be
our
out here.
envoy to the guests, as we call him. He helps the guests each and every week find their way up here. We appreciate it.
No, hey, we appreciate it, Todd.
We will take a break, I guess, and a 1-minute break, whatever the clock.
However long you want, Clark.
Yeah, and we'll take a break and be back to wrap things up right here live from the Bull Arts Room after this. So stay with us, ladies and gentlemen, as Sunday night rolls on.
Vince, that new dummy cam is great.
Yeah, it'll sure give people a whole new outlook on what it's like when you don't wear a safety belt.
I think they'll get the picture.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Tony had some drinks, a few joints, and got into a fatal accident tonight. Only he doesn't know it yet. Drugs make you forget. And if you forget how risky sex can be, you could catch the AIDS virus and not know it for months, even years. AIDS, another way drugs can kill.
And welcome back to Sunday night, as we are here in the Beaux Arts Room at the Student Leadership Conference, the Slice Conference, and I think John Bobbitt went to one of those too, as a matter of fact. A fine Slice Conference.
But in his case, he can't really come back the next year for more.
That's right. Well, did you hear now? Apparently, John and Lorena Bobbitt met outside the courtroom this past week to finalize the divorce papers. They were able to shake hands and everything, able to shake hands, get along fine. And Lorena said to John, she said, "Well, I'm just glad to see there's no hard feelings." So I think right there.
I think you found your audience, Todd.
Our fine audience.
Well, you know, it's funny, Todd, because you were talking before about the Amish and horses and buggies and carriages and what have you. And I don't know if you've ever heard this story. I don't know if our audience has, but there was a man and a woman going down the road in their horse and buggy, just traveling down the road, and all of a sudden, along, 5 miles in the trip, what have you, the horse kind of stumbles off to the side, falls over, and, the buggy tips over and everything, and the man gets out, goes up to the horse, picks everything up, slaps the horse upside the head. Well, the horse, okay, whatever, gets back in. The horse keeps trotting along, goes back with his wife in the buggy, keeps going along again, and lo and behold, a couple miles down the road, there goes the horse again off the side of the road. And the guy gets up, he picks up the buggy, picks up the horse, and slaps the horse across the face again. So now they're back going, and he figures, okay, finally now I've done it. My patience has reached this level. I can't take it anymore. 2 more miles down the road, the horse goes off the road again. The buggy tips over, stuff flies all over the place. The guy gets out of the carriage, gets out his gun, and shoots the horse. The wife goes, "My God, what are you doing? You just shot our horse." The guy gets back in the buggy, slaps the wife, says, "That's one."
And on that note, oh, you got some claps on that.
The joke is reversible. You can use it.
That's right, reversible. You can
but
use it
if we used it the other way, they'd say that we were portraying violent women and violence in men. You can't win anymore.
You can't win anymore. That's really true. Anyway, we want to thank you, Kevin, for being on the show, and don't forget about the Big Pairing Show. Oh, we're over here now. Jeez, New York. We're over the Big Pairing Show coming up.
That's what happens, Todd, when you don't have a full crew and you don't have a floor director.
That's right. That's true. We have the 27th of the month. We have the show coming up on 6 o'clock on Channel 5 right here. The Big Pairing Show, NCAA Pairing Show. Bo Ryan, the entire basketball team. Should be a real good show. I want to thank our guests, Crystal Nicole Morgan, Shelby Lang, and Stephen Reed. Stephen Reed and Jennifer Mosier. See, I remember the name. There we go.
What town was Jennifer from?
Gutenberg. There we go, Gutenberg, Iowa. And I want to thank our fine crew as well, our people that showed up here today. We have Mr. Miller, and we have him here. And we also have Chad Roeder here. We have, what's his name?
Craig?
Oh, yeah, Craig. I forget our crew. No. AJ is down there. We have Mark Dome and Clark Chilson, our director. Everybody helped make this show possible. I want to thank Jim Waite as well for setting things up and helping us out. Give Jim a big hand. And also want to thank our fine Sunday night band under the direction of Tom Vandenhoven. Tom, nice job tonight. We will, in case you haven't caught on by now, Sunday night is kind of a new show every other week. So we'll take next week off, obviously, for the Pairing Show. And be back in 2 weeks on the first Sunday in March with all new Sunday night. So until then, take care, my friends. And thank you, everybody, for the audience here. And good luck to each and every one of you. Later on, see you next week on Sunday night.
Thank you.